Hello everyone and welcome back to Lotus Premier Education. My name is Amanda and I want to be your college tutor. Today I'm super excited to talk to you guys about something that I get asked about a lot, especially as a Harvard grad. And that question is, how do I get into Harvard? Well, that's kind of $1 million question, but we'll take a stab at it anyway. The first thing I want to tell you all in this video is that no one, and I do mean no one, can guarantee their admission into Harvard. I have worked with students for over 10 years. I have never seen a student that I could confidently say, yes, you are going to get in. I was not even confident that I would get in myself. Harvard is an incredibly difficult place to get into. They're looking for really specific things. And of course, they're an amazing school, so they get a lot of applicants. But there are some things that you can do to increase your chances of getting in. So first and foremost, if Harvard is on your radar, you should be thinking about things to do to strategically set yourself up for admission way earlier in the process than you may even consider. And yes, I'm talking about 7th and 8th grade. So a lot of the academic decisions that you make in 7th and 8th grade will actually set your college admissions process in motion. Two big decisions that were really important in my college admissions process were, number one, choosing my high school. I had a really negative middle school experience. I very clearly stood out from the class that I was in, and the school wasn't really a great fit for me socially or academically. So my parents and I made the decision that I would enroll at a different school for high school. This decision took a lot of courage because I was stepping away from the group of people that I had been with since kindergarten, and I was also making a choice that wasn't really characteristic from the location I was from. So first and foremost, choose a high school where you think you are going to thrive, and of course, a high school that is accessible to you. Second, in 7th and 8th grade, I also chose academic tracks that were really foundational for me as a student. America runs on a track system in our education pathways. And what that means is the class that you are placed into will determine the next class that you are placed into, and so on and so forth. What is really important to remember is that you as students and parents have control over the tracks that you choose. So yes, a teacher may recommend a certain level of math or even a foreign language, taking that requirement earlier rather than later, but you can advocate if you think that you should be in a higher level or if you can handle a higher level. We always say here at Lotus that it is easier to move down if something is not the right fit for you than to move up later. So one big piece of advice if you're trying to get into Harvard or other competitive schools is be intentional about the classes that you're taking and advocate for yourself when you are choosing academic tracks. Now, the other thing to remember is that colleges, especially competitive colleges, all have a certain feel to them and a certain type of student that they attract. When you are doing college research or when you're doing college visits, you really want to pay attention to some big buzzwords that are coming up. At Harvard, some of those buzzwords are optimism, leadership, movers, and shakers. Harvard is really looking for people who are setting out to change the world. And it doesn't have to be the world on a global scale. It can be their own world, whether that is a humanities world, whether it is the local world that they come from, whether it's the farming community. They are looking for people who have a passion and who are really, really set on making a difference in their community or in the broader global community as a whole. So if you know that that is something that they are looking for, and you feel that that really aligns with who you are at your core, you should start thinking about extracurriculars and other things that you can participate in that will contribute to a narrative that matches theirs. So if they're looking for positive, optimistic, charismatic leaders, find ways to not only become a positive, optimistic, charismatic leader, but also to demonstrate that in your community. I often say that this may start with reading. So finding some books that inspire you, some mentors in the community, even reading blogs or online journals, those can all help you to really reflect on the type of person you want to be and the things that you want to do. And then you need to choose your extracurriculars to match that. Harvard is very intentional about choosing students with a full, complete narrative. And so you want to remember that the ways you should be spending your time should be intentional and should paint a whole picture about yourself. Now, one big thing to remember if you're trying to get into Harvard or other competitive schools is that we only have a certain amount of hours in the day. So if you find yourself spending time on extracurriculars that don't benefit you or don't contribute to your narrative, or maybe you might enjoy but they're not the most beneficial and they don't balance out with the other things that you're doing, it may be time to reevaluate how much time to dedicate to those activities. If it's something you enjoy, don't drop it entirely. Just find other ways to fit it into your program. Finally, if you are applying to Harvard and if you are applying to competitive schools, there is no part of the admissions process that is optional. The testing, that's a different conversation. We have a whole video on test optional. You can check it out. But you should be putting your best effort forth in everything that you have coming up, whether that is your extracurriculars, whether it's test prep, whether it's your finals, or whether it's your college essays. Your essays should be formulated in advance. They should be very well cultivated to work together and to form a complete picture of you. And they should also balance out a demonstrated interest initiative. So that means visiting campus, doing the virtual tours, reaching out to admissions, even reaching out to a professor when you're there. You need to really show not only why you want to be at the school, but also why you would be a perfect fit for the school and why the school would be a perfect fit for you. So we hope this video was helpful. Please like, comment down below, subscribe to our channel. I wish you all the best as you apply to Harvard, and if you get in, please let us know. Good luck.